came during the British period, the people are saying that lamp used to be lit there. That is why that pillar came up there. And as I mentioned earlier, Saravanan was again saying it is a pillar, but in the court they changed the tune and said this is no, this is not a survey, because the theory that it's a survey pillar, that was also questioned. Then it was said no, this was used by Jains, not by the Hindus. Now, see, that also fell through. And the issues on which the Madras High Court, the Madurai bench of the Madras High Court has decided today, are not about what the petitioner is, whether he runs an organization. That is not the issue. It was about reviving the practice of lighting the lamp at that place on a particular day. And the single judge had said, yes, 5 people can go and that no other assembly of people should take place. And so that they can, as per their faith and belief, they can light the lamp. Because the spot from where they can light the lamp can be seen all around. That is why that particular pillar was erected in the first place. See, these can be matter of, narratives, whether that... But the question is, it was such a simple issue. But DMK decided that this issue had to be hyped. And they kept on saying, this will be another Ayodhya, this will become another Ayodhya. Even Saravanan was mentioning Babri Masjid. See, the dispute is not about Dargah. Nobody is questioning the existence of Dargah there. The Sikandar Dargah, which happens to be the resting place of a sultan and who had later turned religious. So that nobody is questioning that mazar there. It was all about access to a pillar to light the lamp. Now, of course, earlier the controversy was about the issue of animal sacrifice atop on the hill, which, the matter was taken up by Madras High Court. It imposed a ban. That ban is continuing. So I think an issue which need not have been blown up to such a level has now blown back on their face. Now the opposition parties, ADM, not just the BJP, ADMK will also, claim victory on this, saying, we told you, why did you hype up this issue? And similarly, within the DMK also, of course, Saravanan says that DMK will go up to the Supreme Court. But I do not think this issue is going to give them any further political mileage, given the stand already taken by the division bench. And the other thing is, they hyped it up by moving an impeachment motion on the single charge. Today, the social trolls are asking, will they move impeachment against the division bench 2 judges also? So, you see, once you hype up something, and if you can't keep up that hype going and it is brought down by a court order, then politically it is a setback. That is something DMK may try to, put up a brave face. But I think on the ground, it is indeed a political setback for the DMK.
Right, I will just come back to you on that. Now, Ananya, let me just come to you and just to expand on what Mr. Iyer said there. Also, the bench did observe that it was ridiculous and hard to believe, I'm quoting here, that the mighty state could claim that the lighting of a lamp by the temple on temple land would lead to disturbance of public peace. Now, that is something that they've observed there as well.
Well, absolutely. They've been saying this, and in fact, the High Court also holding that, it's a kind of an imaginary ghost that the DMK government has actually drawn. And that is exactly what is the pitch that is coming in from, in fact, the Madurai bench of the Madras High Court. Because constantly, it's the single judge bench also stated that, it's the state's obligation, and it is the state's obligation to actually maintain the law and order there. But very clearly, if you see the direction that have come in from the division bench as well, that no public would be allowed when this Deepathon would actually be lit, when the Deepam would be lit on that particular Deepathon. So how will there be a law and order situation? If at all, it's not an engineered one. But very clearly at this particular juncture, the ASI also has been tasked to actually preserve this particular monument. It can take steps is what in fact the Madurai bench has said, and the order is very, very clear. Though when we'll get to see the detailed order copy, we'll get to know more and more reasons why the court also felt that this is an imaginary ghost that's been drawn by the DMK government, and that which is trying to defend that there should be no Deepathon at there should be no lighting of lamp at that particular Deepathon. But the orders of the Madurai bench of the Madras High Court are now very, very clear.
Right. Now, we're also being joined by Felix Dural from the TVK. Thank you so much for joining me on the broadcast. What is your reaction to this?
Basically, we have been telling right from the beginning. It's a drama between well-orchestrated drama by BJP as well as DMK. They wanted to politicize the issue and to set a narrative for the upcoming election. So we have been telling, this is our, we have been explaining this to the local people are not at all interested in the issue. Basically, it's an administrative issue to be corrected at the local level. They have blown it as a big thing, and now court has said about the law and order issue also. So it is a well orchestrated drama aimed at the 2026 election.
Right. Now, you say this is an administrative issue that has been blown out of proportion, but the DMK remains defiant. It says that it's only going to double down going forward.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They will prolong this issue till the election, and they will make it even bigger. That is what their original plan is.
Right, but going by what you said earlier, of course, their theories, various theories that the DMK and the narrative that they've tried to push here, that this could perhaps disrupt public peace and create communal disharmony as well. It doesn't seem to have found many takers. So do you think this is just going to perhaps be a self-goal for them going forward as well if they continue to stretch this?
Yes. They thought it will become a big issue, but the people, there is a harmony in that particular place. They didn't entertain it. So it became a big failure for them. The ground is very clear. The people are happy. There is no issue at all. Outsiders who came to Tirupparamgundram from outside Madurai, they are the one who's creating these troubles. The law and order issue, whatever it was, also a law and order issue was created by the DMK government, because they would have stopped those people at the entry point to the city itself. They allowed them to come in, and they created a commotion and showing that it is a big law and order issue. Actually, they could have, all the people, protesters were coming outside Madurai. They could have stopped very well at the entry point itself.
All right. Mr. Rahul, thank you so much for joining me on the broadcast with your perspective on this. Mr. Iyer, let me just come back to you. There you have it, the TVK, the AIADMK saying that, we told you so. This is not something that is really going to pan out well for you, but the DMK remains defiant. It is only going to double down. Do you think it has no other option, considering how far they've stretched this?
Yeah, I mean, the TVK's response is, is understandable, because they never commented on this issue. Vijay himself did not speak a word on this issue, and all the while they know for a fact that the DMK has been hyping this issue just to prevent to show that they are the only saviors of minorities in Tamil Nadu. That was clear from the beginning go. Now, as far as the BJP or the groups like Hindu Munnani groups in Tamil Nadu, they have been very clear, that because the temples in Tamil Nadu, particularly the ancient temples in Tamil Nadu, are controlled by the state government and the Hindu Endowment Board. It's the one state where all big temples are under government control, barring the Chidambaram temple. So there has been a lot of complaints about how the DMK government has been managing these temples, and this particular issue also came up because the temple is under the control of the government. See, it is not under any Devasam board or anything. It is under the control of the government, direct government control. So this issue could have been easily settled. It was question of, just 5 people going lighting the lamp on one particular day. But somehow the DMK leadership took the view, no, this issue should be hyped. And the manner in which DMK leaders and DMK spokesperson were saying, look, we will not allow another Ayodhya here. We are here to protect the rights of the minorities. So the issue was deliberately escalated, I would say, to a point where it was made out that, we are the most secular forces here. Don't trust anyone. We are the, here for you. Now, this intended message has now backfired, because an issue which was not a big thing, because as I said earlier, the dispute was not about the existence of Dargah or anything like in other places. Here it is a question of, a practice which was prevalent more than 100 years ago but was stopped. So the attempt was to revive. Now, this has happened at several places. I mean, this could have been handled, called both the communities. Of course, the issue of animal sacrifice and reports of, such sacrifices on the temple had disturbed a number of Hindu devotees. On that, the Madras High Court imposed a ban, saying that is not allowed. Even now, to visit Dargah, Madras High Court has just given a permission. A small group of people can go and pay their homage at the Dargah.
Right. Mr. Iyer, thank you so much for joining us with your insights on this as well. We'll, of course, continue to track all developments on that front as well. For now, it appears that the DMK only appears to be doubling down and remains defiant. What comes off that, of course, we'll continue to bring you all the developments on that front also. A sharper lens on the world, the benchmark of global journalism, from wars to world politics, all delivered with authority and perspective. This is CNN Edge here on CNN News 18. We're going to slip into a very short break. Do stay tuned.
In a city that never sleeps, every decision matters. From roads to rains, from safety to services, every rupee counts. One alliance versus fractured opposition. Who will Mumbai choose? Ballot Maximum City. Complete coverage on CNN News 18. This is News 18 Network. India's largest news network.
BJP, even other parties had questioned why did the DMK government and such a big issue. And this was, the lamp was to be lit on a particular day, that was Kartigai. Kartigai is a very essential Tamil festival when lamps are lit at different places, including at homes. Now, it was for that particular day, the court had simply said, allow 5 people to go and lit the lamp and come down. No crowds, nothing. Nothing to tamper with that area. But DMK decided that this is an issue where they can show that they are more pro-minorities than the Tamil Vetri Kazhagam or Vijay. That is why we should, of course, Vijay...
The court is also laying out terms and conditions now. So following, the court making it amply clear that Temple Devasnam must light the lamp at Deepathon. It says ASI can impose conditions to preserve the monument. No public allowed to accompany Temple Devasnam for lighting of the lamp at Deepathon. District Collector shall also supervise the event. So all possible steps are being taken, Mr. Iyer, to ensure that the law and order situation remains in check, that there are no sort of tensions that flare up, given this verdict as well. We're looking at some of the bits and pieces of TNC that's already being spoken of by the court.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, for sake of this order, DMK wanted to impeach the judge. And then the DMK in its impeachment motion also imputed motives to the judge, saying that since he belongs to a particular community, he is swaying lawyers of a particular committee. I mean, this is the height of... I would say contempt of the judge and the judiciary, and DMK will have to bear the burden of this judgment, because this is unnecessarily made an issue. But there was nothing to be done. At no stage did the state government try to bring the both communities together. Pulara was just suggesting that there could have been peace talks. The Tamil Nadu government made no efforts, because there is a feeling that DMK wanted to use this issue in the sense that, because their worry is, I'll be very clear, their worry is with the rise of TVK, the actor Vijay's party, they feared that the core vote base could shift.
So Mr. Pulara, you may go on to say that this issue has not been turned political by the DMK, but there is a political story to it. And to the point that the DMK had been making on how, and the argument that DMK had presented in the court in challenging the single bench judgment, was that this may trigger religious tensions. Now the High Court says that apprehensions of public peace disturbance is nothing.
Welcome back. Now, CNN News 18 has accessed the application filed by TMC against the SIR exercise in Bengal. TMC, it's told the Supreme Court were given to understand the mass deletion of eligible voters in violation of statutory procedure and the ECI's own SOP. It has also stated the digital chaos, technical mismanagement and resultant procedural breakdown in the process. The TMC says that SIR exercise is causing immense hardships to senior citizens, and the plea also seeks to restrain ECI from issuing directions to BLOs via WhatsApp or other casual communication forms. So CNN News 18 there has accessed the application, which has been filed by the TMC against SIR exercise in Bengal, and it has told the Supreme Court that the mass deletion of eligible voters is in violation of the statutory procedure and ECI's own SOPs. It has further also stated the digital chaos, the technological mismanagement and resultant procedural breakdown in the SIR process. It has further spoken about how this exercise is causing immense hardships to senior citizens, as well as seeking restraint on ECI from using and issuing directions to BLOs via WhatsApp and other casual communication forms. So this is the latest that we are getting for you on the SIR row in Bengal that we have seen. Now, here is the application which was filed by the TMC against the SIR exercise in Bengal, which CNN News 18 has accessed. And these are some of the key highlights where the TMC has told the Supreme Court that mass deletions of eligible voters is in violation of the statutory procedure and the ECI's own SOPs. Talking about the digital chaos, they've said they've cited technological mismanagement and the resultant procedural breakdown in the entire SIR process, saying that it is causing immense hardships to senior citizens and is also seeking restraint on ECI from issuing directions to BLOs via WhatsApp, casual communication forms as well. Ananya, what can you tell us?
Well, absolutely. The Mamata government has now approached the Supreme Court, though there was already a petition that was filed by Derek O'Brien of the TMC earlier. But now a fresh application for directions have been filed before the Supreme Court, seeking, in fact, the halting or at least delaying the timeline of the SIR exercise in the state of West Bengal, very categorically stating that the ECI is causing a hardship to the senior citizens, and in fact casual modes of communications are being used by in fact the Election Commission of India to pass down instructions as far as this SIR exercise is concerned, and that is something that needs to stop, is what the TMC has gone on to tell the topmost court of the country. Today the Supreme Court is to hear the matter pertaining to the Bihar SIR, so whether there would be a mention of the same before the topmost court of the country is something that we'll have to wait and watch for. Hey.
Right. Of course, now when we talk about the various issues that they've cited here, also they're talking about how it is causing immense issues for senior citizens as well as the casual communication to the BLOs. That is something that they've cited also. What can you tell us about that?
Well, absolutely. They say that, the instructions are being passed down to the BLOs via WhatsApp communications or via various other modes which are not the conventional modes that are used as far as passing down instructions or giving out proper public notifications are concerned, is what in fact the TMC has alleged, saying that it is causing a lot of problems and a lot of confusion as far as the directions are concerned, and hence the casual mode of communication should actually be stopped by the Election Commission of India, and the timelines for the SIR exercise should actually be delayed, is what in fact this application for direction actually states. Whether the Supreme Court would be going into this particular issue, whether the Supreme Court would be giving out certain directions to the Election Commission of India as far as the exercise in West Bengal is concerned, is something that we'll have to wait and watch for.
All right, Ananya, thank you so much for that. We also have with us Kamalika Sengupta. Kamalika, thank you so much for joining me. Good morning. Of course, these are the details of this application that we've accessed as well. A couple of things that they've mentioned here, the digital chaos and the procedural issues that they've cited. They've also spoken about the immense issues it is causing for senior citizens, and then they've also sought restraint on the ECI communicating to the BLOs via WhatsApp and other casual communication forms.
See, if we see what Mamata Banerjee communicated in last 48 hours, the petition that has been given in the Supreme Court reflects that. Day before yesterday, Mamata Banerjee did send a third letter to CEC where she pointed out that she believes, and it's happening, that all the directions that has been given by the Election Commission are in WhatsApp, in messages, lots of deletions are taking place without any proper logical conclusion. That's what her point was. And she, at that point of time, she wrote that this is a time where this entire SIR process should be stalled. And this is not the first time that she wrote this letter. This was the third letter. Following to which, yesterday, she clearly stated that today the court will open and there is a requirement, and in accordance to that, they will move the court, and she also stated that if required, she herself will plead. So there are the issues which has been raised by Trinamool Congress time and again for the last 15 days. All those have come to this point, the petition that has been filed. Now we'll have to really see how the legalities go and what comes up during hearing. There are 5 to 6 major points, out of which number one is that they are saying that a lot of deletions are taking place from the back end without the knowledge of the EROs. So that is one point. Second point important is that all the there are lots of changes in the notifications and lots of communication are taking place in WhatsApp, and also there is no notification. And third is definitely they believe that overall deletion is taking place without following the normal norms. So on the basis of this certain points, the petition have been made.
All right. Well, Kamalika, thank you so much for bringing us the latest on this. Moving on, then, the issue of TMC MP Kirti Azad allegedly using an e-cigarette vape inside the Lok Sabha has escalated following a complaint to the speaker by BJP MP Anurag Thakur. The CCTV footage from inside the Lok Sabha is now being sent for forensic examination. Further action in the matter will be decided after that report is received. For more on this, we have Payal Mehta live with us. Payal, of course, there are a couple of issues here. One, that he was on this video seen smoking inside the Lok Sabha. Also, it's a vape that he's using there.
Well, absolutely, and that's the reason that Anurag Singh Thakur, Member of Parliament from the BJP, had raised that issue, essentially saying that multiple rules have been broken, him. He was smoking banned stuff, and that too inside Parliament complex as well. So therefore, based on Anurag Thakur's complaint, this Lok Sabha Speaker has sent this complaint, for further investigation. A forensic examination is being done because certain videos were leaked by the BJP IT cell, Amit Malviya, as well. What is the authentication of those videos? Are there CCTV footages available? Is it being seen that Kirti Azad was in fact vaping inside Parliament? All of these things are going to be a matter of scrutiny. And depending on these reports, the Lok Sabha Speaker will decide whether he wants to send it to Ethics Committee for further action or whether he wants to take the action himself as well. Both of these options are open. Whether Kirti Azad can face punishment at the hand of the Ethics Committee, much like what Mahua Moitra really faced, during that whole episode that she in fact got into a tiff with Nishikant Dubey and the others because of sharing a password with an outsider, or whether the Lok Sabha Speaker decides to take action on his own, that remains to be seen. But we are given to understand that in the next couple of weeks, this forensic report will certainly be available. India has these kind of technologies now available that can actually tell you what is a fake video and what is a real video. Because Kirti Azad has constantly been on the denial, but the video makes it pretty clear that there was a bit of smoke which was really coming out, even though Kirti Azad has been maintaining that he's not been doing this. And silently, many TMC leaders have been saying that Kirti Azad has had this problem and it has made them very, very inconvenienced by this. But let's wait for the details of the case to come out to see what action will be taken further.
All right, Payal, thank you so much for that. All right, with that, let's shift our focus to all the other stories which are making headlines today. Let's get started. Now, 2 under-trial inmates escaped from Connaught District Jail by scaling the prison wall using a rope made of blankets. The jailbreak was detected during a routine head count on Monday morning. Police teams have been formed and raids are underway to nab the fugitives. A speeding Bolero overturned twice on Military Road in Gujarat. The accident was captured on CCTV. Around 26 to 28 family members were thrown onto the road, leaving another person dead and 26 injured. Police are probing driver negligence and possible overloading. Indian cricketer Mohammad Shami and his brother Mohammad Kaif have been summoned by the Election Commission for a hearing under the Special Intensive Revision process in Kolkata. Notices were issued from Jadavpur school though Shami could not appear as he is currently representing Bengal in the Vijay Hazare Trophy in Rajkot. Pathankot police have arrested a 15-year-old minor for allegedly sharing sensitive information with Pakistan's intelligence agency ISI for over years. Police say the agency is attempting to recruit young children, prompting alerts across Punjab to stay vigilant as investigations continue. 5 people had a narrow escape after their car skidded off the Delhi-Mumbai Expressway near JNU in Haryana. The incident captured on camera. The vehicle veered off the road in a cloud of dust and locals rushed to help, while a woman was heard questioning the driver if he had dozed off. Four students suffered burn injuries after a fire incident at a government high school. The injured students were rushed to a community health center with one reported critical, while authorities say the incident appears accidental and an inquiry, will be conducted as well. All right, and with that, we're going to call it a wrap on this edition of the News Bulletin. News and updates will continue on the other side on CNN News 18. Do stay tuned.
In a city that never sleeps, every decision matters. From roads to rains, from safety to services, every rupee counts. One alliance versus fractured opposition. Who will Mumbai choose? Ballot Maximum City. Complete coverage on CNN News 18. This is News 18 Network. India's largest news network.
BJP, even other parties had questioned why did the DMK government and such a big issue. And this was, the lamp was to be lit on a particular day, that was Kartigai. Kartigai is a very essential Tamil festival where lamps are lit at different places, including at homes. Now, it was for that particular day, the court had simply said, allow 5 people to go lit the lamp and come down. No crowds, nothing to tamper with that area. But DMK decided that this is an issue where they can show that they are more pro-minorities than the Tamil Vetri Kazhagam or Vijay. That is why we should, of course, Vijay...
The court is also laying out terms and conditions now. So following, the court making it amply clear that Temple Devasnam must light the lamp at Deepathon. It says ASI can impose conditions to preserve the monument. No public allowed to accompany Temple Devasnam for lighting of the lamp at Deepathon. District Collector shall also supervise the event. So all possible steps are being taken, Mr. Iyer, to ensure that the law and order situation remains in check, that there are no sort of tensions that flare up, given this verdict as well. We're looking at some of the bits and pieces of TNC that's already being spoken of by the court.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, for sake of this order, DMK wanted to impeach the judge. And then the DMK in its impeachment motion also imputed motives to the judge, saying that since he belongs to a particular community, he is swaying lawyers of a particular committee. I mean, this is the height of, I would say, contempt of the judge and the judiciary. And DMK will have to bear the burden of this judgment, because this is unnecessarily made an issue. But there was nothing to be done. At no stage did the state government try to bring the both communities together. Pullarav was just suggesting that there could have been peace talks. The Tamil Nadu government made no efforts, because there is a feeling that DMK wanted to use this issue in the sense that, because their worry is, I'll be very clear, their worry is with the rise of TVK, the actor Vijay's party, they feared that the core vote base could shift.
So Mr. Pullarav, you may go on to say that this issue has not been turned political by the DMK, but there is a political story to it. And to the point that the DMK had been making on how, and the argument that DMK had presented in the court in challenging the single bench judgment, was that this...
In a city that never sleeps, every decision matters. From roads to rains, from safety to services, every rupee counts. One alliance versus fractured opposition. Who will Mumbai choose? Ballot Maximum City. Complete coverage on CNN News 18.
Hello and welcome, and thank you so much for staying with CNN News 18. I'm Griha Atul. Let's now begin with the headlines. Madras High Court rejects state government's plea. Orders for lamps to be lit at Deepathon, criticizes Stalin government. DMK remains defiant despite stinker from the High Court, says it will do whatever needs to be done but won't allow lighting of the Deepam. Bangladesh Hindus living in danger. Another Hindu man killed. Second such incident in 24 hours. Is Yunus inaction emboldening Hindu hate? Worst fears come true after Indore outbreak. Now Bengaluru, Gujarat and Odisha reel under water contamination crisis. News 18 investigation exposes the rot. Aiming to consolidate opposition.